Welcome back, guys, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about how to get a business line of credit. A business line of credit is actually one of the most sought after financing products by small business owners today. Everyone wants a business credit line. If you're looking to get a business credit line, a few things that are going to be important when applying and things that we're going to look at. One, we're going to need a simple application, and we're going to want to see that you've been in business for at least 1 year. We're not focused on real estate collateral, where a lot of lenders are really going to want you to have some sort of hard asset or real estate collateral in order to issue you a credit line. We actually don't need that, which is really cool and very helpful. We're really going to be focused on the most recent month's cash flow in your business. We don't need to see millions of dollars of cash flow, but we need to see at least $10,000 to $20,000 a month in revenues. And we want to see that you're keeping a decent average daily balance in there and don't have multiple NSF or overdraft fees. That's going to be really important because, again, we're not using any type of real estate collateral. Profitability on your tax return isn't necessarily necessary, and there's some different things that we'll look at and back things out, like depreciation and other expenses. But it's going to be important that you're going to have at least 3 to 6 months of your business bank statements together. Sometimes, depending on the line size, if we start getting above 100, 150,000, we may need up-to-date or recent financials. We may need a tax return. There are some products that are under 100,000 where we don't need a tax return or any financials, and it's a very simple and quick and easy process. Simple one-page digital application, 3 months bank statements, and we can usually have you an approval within about 24 hours. Credit score wise, so we have some credit line options that are available that with credit scores as low as about a 580. That's kind of about the lowest you can go to get a true revolving line of credit. We also have options available for people in the 700 credit score range as well too. So there is a wide range of options available, and there's some different lenders that focus on different guidelines and criterias, and depending on where you fall, will make up which lender would make sense for you. Once you have your application completed, 3 months of bank statements, you'd be just about ready to be submitted into underwriting. But tip number one that I mentioned earlier, which you would want to know, is the credit line a true revolving line? Meaning that if you get approved, for an example, $100,000 and you draw $40,000, that means you'd have $60,000 remaining. If you pay that $40,000 back that you used 2 or 3 weeks later, is that money available again? Some credit lines work, once you draw that $40,000, you only have $60,000 remaining and you're on a repayment schedule for that $40,000. That can seem a little bit confusing, but someone on my team could help you, help explain in a little bit more detail with that. Tip number one, is the credit line a true revolving line of credit? This is a very important question. Some credit lines are structured where you have the ability where you can draw money and repay it, and that money becomes available again. And some credit lines work where you draw that money, it's not available again, and then the remaining balance is only available. This is a really important question to ask, and something that you definitely want to know, because depending on how you're looking to use the line, that can be really important. If you're going to use it to purchase inventory on an ongoing basis, then you're absolutely going to want the line to be revolving, so as you borrow money and replenish it, it becomes available again. The other great thing about that is on a revolving credit line, once you replace it, you've only paid interest on the money that you used and for as long as it was outstanding, which can be a huge money saver. So true revolving credit lines can really work great for any type of business or industry, but they really work great with people in the construction industry. When they get a new job, they can have cash on hand, take on additional jobs so they have the money to buy materials and lay out for salaries and additional people that they might have to staff for that job. Works great for medical offices. If there's a slowdown in receivables, you can use it to fuel your payroll or working capital in the practice. Great, again, for transportation companies. Transportation companies use it to bring in additional clients so they can have enough money to lay out all their upfront expenses like gas, drivers, and things like that. Or if there's ever a slow in any type of payments, most people in the trucking business do a job and then get paid 30 to 60 days later. So if there's ever a slowdown in those receivables, you have money on hand to keep your business and operations going. So it's super important, depending on what industry you are or how you're going to use that credit line, to know if it's true revolving or when you pull the money, that's it. Great question to ask. Tip number 2, what are the terms of the line and does it reset? So meaning a lot of lenders will give you a credit line which they give you the flexibility to pull and draw funds whenever you need it, which is great. But they want to check in with your business and make sure the business is still healthy. So typically most lines will reset or go into a review every 12 to 24 months. And it can vary from lender to lender. It's super important to know that and to make sure when that review is going to take place, what that review process is. Some review processes are very simple, minimal paperwork. Some are a little bit more in-depth. But you really want to know what that review process is, so when you're going to get the line, you can have that in the back of your mind and keep that in mind for when that term is coming due, that you can have everything that you may need in order, and also make sure leading up to that, that the business is in a great place and you know that that line is going to be eligible to renew. So that's really important. Tip 3, will the credit line grow with your business? It's a really good question to ask. If you're growing your business, most likely, when most people are growing, they need even more money. So you're going to really want to work with a lender that has the flexibility to work with you and to grow your line as your business grows. Great question to ask. A lot of lenders do this. Some don't. Everyone has a different process around this, but it's a good question to ask. Does the line grow with you, and what would you need to do in order to increase your credit line? Another important thing is when you're going for a credit line, if you're approved for a larger amount, always take the larger amount. With most credit lines, you only pay for what you use. So even if you get approved for $200,000 and you only need $50,000, take the $200,000 credit line and only use $50,000. You only pay interest on the $50,000, but you have the ability and flexibility to have additional funds available if you may need it for any opportunities or challenges that could arise in the business. So we've been able to streamline the application process and minimize the documentations needed in order to get a business line of credit. We also have about 75 plus lenders on our platform and have provided about $1 billion in financing to small business owners all across the country over thousands of transactions. Depending on your industry, your needs, there are a number of different credit lines out there. You really want to make sure that you work with a company that can provide multiple options back to you. And as mentioned, we have 75 lenders on our platform. And what we'll do is a simple phone call, understand what you're looking to get accomplished based on your needs, based on your industry type, and based on a few other criteria about yourself and your business, will make up the right lender and the right line for you. And we can help kind of sort through that and place you with the right lender in order to get you the best line available on the market today. There's hundreds of lenders out there, but there's only a dozen lenders that you really want to work with for a business line of credit. In the description below, we'll put a link to our website and we'll help you find a business line of credit that makes sense for you and your business. Be sure to subscribe and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching and have a great day.